Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the William Willett Aquatic Center here in Irvine, California for GoLivePolo.com's coverage of the CIF Southern Section Division I Girls Water Polo Playoffs. Along with Steve Carrera, Greg Meskel here with you poolside for the first of two semifinal matchups. Our first game will feature the Newport Harbor Sailors taking on the Foothill Knights, and that'll be followed at around 7 p.m. by the defending champions, the Laguna Beach Breakers, taking on the Corona Del Mar Sea Queens. Steve, as we look towards this first match, you are fresh off the high school season. We had to bring it up at some point. Your Orange Lutheran team losing in the earlier round here in the playoffs, but you're familiar with all of these teams. You're kept well abreast of the girls' high school season and all the teams involved. As we look towards this meeting on paper, both of our games tonight would say, well, we're just getting ready to see Foothill versus Laguna Beach. Why does that happen or not happen tonight?
Well, I mean, this game is going to be really exciting. I'm excited to be here with you. This first game, I think, is going to get everything really rolling for us because I think both these teams are evenly matched. I think both these teams are looking forward to this game. And, you know, I don't see Coach Barnett. Actually, I do. I see Coach Barnett over there in the corner. I'm pretty excited to see him out here, and I know the girls are going to want to win one for him.
Coach Barnett making his way back, had to miss their last game, a victory, as he had to get a surgery on his hip, had a recent hip replacement surgery and didn't take, so he had to go get another surgery. He's due for another surgery a couple of months from now. Talked to him earlier today, and I think many water polo fans happy that he is able to make it out here. This is his final run here, his 49th season. Barnett wrapping things up here. He'll retire, whether it's tonight or Saturday, whenever things end for this Newport Harbor team. And for Foothill, they obviously recognize the history of Bill Barnett, but at 25-4 with only Laguna Beach being able to best this team, they have visions of winning here tonight and moving on to the final.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think both of these teams are so focused in on this game right now because they know that, I mean, the next game is going to be, obviously, the final is important, but this, for Newport, trying to get them to that final again. I know they want to see Laguna one more time. And with Foothill, I think with the only losses coming from Laguna, I think they are so amped. They want one more chance at trying to break that streak that Laguna has in the county.
Newport Harbor coming in 23-6 overall, Sunset League champions to take on the Foothill Knights. 25-4, led by head coach Jim Brum, and the assistants Greg Enlow, Tom McLean, Brandon Swerner. 25-4 on the year. We mentioned only losing to Laguna Beach. All four of those losses, they are 3-0 against Newport Harbor throughout this season, beating them 4-2 back on December 12th, and then 6-2, and then 6-3. So you think that Foothill is in the driver's seat here, but if you look back to their last game, a 6-3 win, what Newport hangs their hat on is that they were able to really shut down Foothill in the second half of that game.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you know, I was here for the Irvine SoCal tournament. I was able to watch that semifinal game, and really, Newport did not play a good first half. They were sort of scattered all over the place, and Foothill came out and just jumped on them really early. And Foothill built confidence off scoring a couple goals early against Capana. I think that was the key. I think Newport is going to come out. They're going to be fired up, and really, it's the big four for Newport. I mean, Schilling, Pipkin, Capana, and White Lake. You know, those four, they have to have a big game in order for Newport to win.
Newport will take the pool in the dark caps. They'll go with Carly Capana in the cage. The rest of their lineup, Chanel Schilling, Rachel Whiteleg, Catherine Kearns, Caitlin Pipkin, Isabel Levesque, and Ellie Reed for Coach Barnett. Foothill in the whitecaps, Kenzie Snyder in the cage, Katie Hungerford, Krista Schneider, Kana Manzella, Brooke Maxon, Julia Sellers, and Emily Konishi for Coach Jim Brum. The officials in this one, Haz Ortega and Hadi Farid, and we're ready to get things going in this Division I semifinal round. Winner will move on to meet the winner of our next match, Laguna Beach and CDM. And this one controlled early by Foothill. They'll start things off as they handle the opening sprint, and it'll be Brooke Maxon to control things here. Just underway in the first quarter between Newport and Foothill. Nice little crowd here still filing in on a Wednesday evening here in Irvine.
And right away you see Newport going into a 4-5 drop, trying to isolate, take away the 2-meter player.
And right out of the gate we'll see an exclusion, and this will go against the Sailors, and that'll be on number 4, Whiteleg. And here's a power play opportunity for the Knights. So despite being pressed out well beyond 2 meters, they take advantage here with a 6-on-5. Let's see if they can convert. Quick perimeter passing in the middle, clean look, and that one is saved by Capana. They got it on the inside. That was Schneider with an opportunity. Off the mark, Capana there, and Newport takes over.
And that's a big sign for Newport. You know, Capana gets a save early. I think that's a great sign for them. She's really their anchor. I mean, she plays great, they play great.
Kearns looking inside, double team comes, trying to get Schilling involved, who leads the team with 53 goals, so you understand why they wanted to get her on board, and it'll come back now to the Knights. Here's Sellers. Schneider now takes a look. 5:34 to play, opening quarter. We're scoreless. Shot clock about to expire. Outside attempt, that's over the goal, out of play on the try from distance from Sellers. She can score it. 62 goals on the year coming in.
And you know Newport is going to be fine with them taking outside shots. You know, I mean, as long as they take away center play, I think that works to their advantage. That first possession, they still allowed the ball to go into 2 meters. There was a kick out. Capana made a save.
Here's an entry to about 5 meters. Pipkin takes a look. She'll deal it out. Shot try from the outside. Lob is in. Score it. That's number 12, Ellie Reed, putting it away. And the Sailors are on the board first. Reed buries it. It's a 1-0 lead for the Sailors. Under 5 to play here in the first quarter.
And they're going a rocker drop right now, but they're doing a great job of fronting 2 meters. This game is already very physical, so we'll see how it goes throughout the 4 quarters.
Capana with a long outlet pass, finds Reed. Trying to get away from 2 defenders, and ball under is the call. So it'll stay with the Sailors, so that was a turnover taken away by Hungerford, and then ball under is forced. And now here's Newport with the look. 4:20 to play first quarter. Entry inside, and an exclusion is called. That's on Maxon, coming over the top and dropping the hammer there. And now a 6-on-5 here for the Sailors. 4:12 to play first quarter.
Over the last couple games, I haven't seen Newport have great 6-on-5, so this first one should be really important for them.
Sailors around the perimeter. Outside try. That's tipped out. Snyder getting a hand on it. And a new life here on offense. Advantage winding down here for the Sailors. Now sides come even. That pass tipped away. They'll get it out on the perimeter. Sides coming even now. Outside try. That's bar down and in. Score it for Newport Harbor, and Isabel Levesque hitting from the outside.
And that was just a great shot. Great patience as well. I mean, able to just go bar down on that. That was, you're not going to block that. So that's just a great shot.
.346 to go. First quarter, 2-0. So Newport Harbor has gotten off to a strong start here.
It's sort of the opposite of what happened the last time they played. You know, Foothill got off to a great start. Now it's Newport. And, you know, you saw from the last game against San Marcos, they don't have to score a lot of goals to win. I mean, they scored 5 goals, and they were able to hold the other team to 4, and they end up here in semifinals.
Shot clock winding down. There's an attempt from the outside. Capana all over on the attempt from Angela Russo. Talked with Coach Jim Brum before the game. He felt like a lot of times these two get together low-scoring affairs. He'd prefer, of course, his team scored a few more goals. Here's a quick look. That's off the post. And the rebound is controlled by Foothill on the try by Kearns. 3 minutes to go, first quarter, 2-0 lead for Newport Harbor. Here's Foothill now on the attack.
And they're really showing a different look almost on every possession. First on defense, I'm saying Newport is, first they come out in a 4-5 drop, then they're pressing, now they're dropped again. So they're giving them a lot of different looks.
That shot way off the mark on the attempt from the outside by Kanishi, sailing left as the shot clock was winding down. Here come the Sailors. Strong first quarter thus far for Newport Harbor. 2:30 to play in the first. They're ahead 2-0. Left-hander Reed handling. Gives to Whiteleg. Now looking inside at 2 meters. Double team is there. And the ball pops loose. And Snyder is up to take it and control it for Foothill.
That was very close to being a kick out right there. I mean, 2 hands on the body.
Now in transition, that pass over the top. Great steal. That's Whiteleg reaching back with the right hand to pull it away. Deals to Capana. Under 2 to go now here in the first quarter. Ordinary called. This is Pipkin.
I think Pipkin's suit got ripped.
Yeah, they're going to pull the ball out here.
Really early on. I don't know if that's going to be fixable.
They're going to stop it for the cap. So another player missing their cap. So a quick stoppage here. Strong start for Newport Harbor. Ellie Reed started it off. Isabel Levesque with the other one. And Capana has been able to keep Foothill off the board, although it's not as if they've had that many great looks.
No, they really haven't. I mean, that last shot was pretty wide. But it's going to take the center play and the 6-on-5 to really get the goals in on Capana. You're not going to see very many 7-8 meter shots that are going to go in on her. So they're really, I think that's why Foothill really wants to get the ball inside, let the 2 meter player draw some kickouts, and then they get a couple easier looks. But if they're not able to get the ball into 2 meters, it's going to be tough for Foothill unless they get out on the counter.
So a scavenger hunt is on for the missing cap right now. Fun little side game at many water polo matches.
Yeah. I think Orange Lutheran has the record for losing the cap the most. I mean, honestly, it was like we could not keep our caps on the entire game.
Is there a strategy? What's your time limit before you just give up and go to a backup cap?
I've just gone to sub. If I could sub, I'll sub. I mean, it's not worth stopping the game for that long.
Sure,
right?
Sure. Looks like the cap has been located. And we're ready to go now out of the stoppage. 1:47 to go. 2-0 lead. Newport Harbor in front, and the Sailors control here, just 5 on the shot clock. Outside look, that shot attempt deflected and away. And Foothill will take over with 1:30 to play here in the first quarter.
And right now you see Foothill really trying to get the ball out to ISO in transition. They want to get the ball into 2 meters as quickly as they can into one-on-one situation, try to draw that kick out. Weren't successful on that one.
Here comes Foothill now, looking for a good opportunity on goal. Maxon. Here's Kanishi now. They play catch on the perimeter. Shot clock to 7. Weak side, quick shot. Capana ranging right, knocks it down. Newport in control, 1 minute to go, first quarter.
I think for those watching, the stream or even here, you don't appreciate how great of a save just that one was right there. The anticipation, moving with the ball, and there was just really no room there at all. And that's just because she's a great goalie.
Near midcourt there, or mid-tank rather, an offensive, and it's turned over. And now here's Foothill with perhaps their last best opportunity of the first quarter, trailing 2-0. 15 on the shot clock. Knights take a look. Kanishi, Maxon. Perimeter base, that one over the head, intended for Russo. Running out of time here. Russo puts it up. Capana pulls it down quickly. And the shot clock is off. Just 18 seconds left here as Newport Harbor can hold for the final shot of this first quarter. Here's Pipkin racing ahead. Inside 2 meters, running out of time. Ordinary called with 4 on the clock. Pipkin looking. And they run out of time. Quick 4 seconds there that ran off the clock when the Sailors couldn't find anyone. And we come to the end of 1, and it's Newport Harbor 2, Foothill 0. You're watching the CIF Southern Section Division I semifinals in girls water polo right here on GoLivePolo.com. Welcome back here. We're at the William Woolett Aquatic Center in Irvine, California, along with Steve Carrera. Greg Meskel here with you. And we're here poolside. 1 quarter in the books in our first of 2 semifinals. And Steve, thus far, Newport Harbor, as good as they could have expected, I think, against a team that has had their number this season. They came out and blanked them 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, 2 great shots. I would think Capana had 5 saves in that first quarter. And you know, I think this is that danger zone, and I spoke about it a little while ago with Dan Albano from OC Varsity. Beating somebody multiple times the same year, how many times do you see teams fall prey to that and then they end up losing the big one?
Opening sprint here controlled, and it'll be taken by Foothill. And they'll set things up here on the offensive end, trying to figure out a way. What do they do differently? Anything to tweak here you see in the first 7 minutes?
Well, I mean, they definitely need to get the ball out of the goal earlier. Foothill does, and they need to get the ball 2 meters in transition. They need to get isolated over there so they can go one-on-one. Because one-on-one, I do think that Foothill has stronger 2-meter players. So if they can do that, they can draw some exclusions or get a penalty shot or a natural goal.
Meanwhile, things working okay here for Newport. And as I say that, they throw it away. And Foothill will take over. Just underway here in the second quarter. Foothill, their only loss this year. They have 4 of them. They've all come to Laguna Beach. So they've gotten used to beating the teams beneath them. They've held down that number 2 spot in Division I. Shot clock down to 6 here on the outside look. And Capana gets a left hand on that one and knocks it out. Member of the USA national team pipeline, another save there, and it's out of play. And now with 6 minutes to play, it'll be a new shot clock for Foothill.
And right now, Newport's going into a dropping gap, trying to rush those shots, which obviously favors Capana. There's a lot of movement by Newport on the defensive end.
Here's Kanishi. Hungerford. And now Sellers. Sellers, I think that was more of a pass than a shot. It kind of got away. Someone was dragged down at 2 meters as well. And Newport not complaining. They take over.
I know what you wanted to do. It just didn't quite work out.
Here come the Sailors. Looking again in at 2 meters, looking for Pipkin. She's double teamed, trying to strong arm her way through against 2 defenders, and Foothill was there for the takeaway. That was Kanishi coming over. 5:05 to go. Second quarter, 2-0 Newport Harbor.
She's got to attack right there.
Even the crowd was calling for a pass, didn't come. Now here's a look from the outside, under 5 to go first half. Shot clock to 5. Going cross cage, no good. Save Kapana, rebound, stuffed in, and the Foothills on the board. Putting that one home. Julia Sellers, right place, right time for the Knights.
And I mean, you know, whatever gets them on the board, but that was one of those things where Kapana makes a great save and no one's blocking out on the weak side. They get an easy one. That's a great move. She turned inside and finished, but you know, they really have to make sure they don't give up another one of those if Newport wants to win.
And Foothill needed something to kind of break through, and that was kind of a broken play there. The Newport defense holds, and just no one there to back up.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that Newport is really slowing the game down and working their front court. You know, traditionally you see Newport as like a counterattack type team. They're really slowing it down right now.
Here come the Sailors. That attempt blocked by Snyder. So while the first quarter was all Newport, the second has belonged to Foothill here. They have scored the only goal, and they've kept the Sailors off the board here with about 3 minutes gone by in the second. Sellers gives off to Maxon. Those two combined for nearly 100 goals this season. There's an inside look from Manzella, another national team product, and that's Kapana with the stop.
Manzella really made a nice move there. She just has to be a little bit more patient before she takes that shot. I think if she's a little more patient, she can get an exclusion or a 5-meter on that.
Sailors trying to get back some of their offensive mojo, and Whiteleg puts her head under, and Foothill happy to come over and take it away as Manzella and Ayala come up with the takeaway. 3:32 to play, first half, 2-1, Newport Harbor, but the Knights of Foothill threatening. Here's a look, turning inside, and there's an exclusion. Whiteleg will go out.
And that's what I mean by getting the ball into 2 meters in transition. You know, everyone's still swimming, but they get the ball in, and they're able to convert. At least they get an exclusion out of it.
Whiteleg picking up her second exclusion, so trouble there. Skip shot try, and Kapana wise to that on the attempt from the outside. And so now the team's at even strength, and Whiteleg here, Steve, with 2 exclusions, a bit of a roll of the dice here, perhaps leaving her out.
Big time. That's a big chance. It's a big risk that they're taking right now, especially with, you know, things are kind of going their way right now. There's no need to panic. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them.
Pipkin had a look after the pass following the ordinary, but it was knocked down from behind, and then she'll be excluded. So one problem leads to another for Pipkin as she's excluded on the way down, and then a timeout called by Foothill. So Pipkin goes out with an exclusion. That follows one on Whiteleg. And now Foothill in good shape here. 2:37 to play, first half. 2-1 Newport Harbor, but you like where things are at if you're Foothill here, down just 1, and having a 6-on-5 here coming up.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't make those kinds of mistakes in a game like this. You know, Pipkin, I know she's trying to create something for her team. It doesn't work out, take the ball away, but you can't then get a kick out. You know, that just sort of complicates things even more. So they need to show a little bit more patience on that. And, you know, like you pointed out earlier, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Whiteleg. Does Coach know that she has 2 exclusions? I mean, that could be another part of it.
2:40 to play. First half, 2-1 lead right now in favor of Newport Harbor. But it's Foothill with a power play coming out of the timeout here. Here come the Knights now on the attack. Great look inside, and they score it, and we're even at 2. Beautiful look. And that's Noel Weinbelt connecting in close for a 2-2 game.
And they really were not expecting that. And honestly, neither was I. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to come out and just make 2 passes and a shot. So that was a great play by Coach, the coach of Foothill. And now it's, Newport has to respond now. I mean, they don't need to score, but they need to have a good possession. They've had 3 turnovers in a row, I believe, and so they need to have a good possession right now.
Newport so strong in the first quarter, it's given away to some turnovers, exclusions, and 2 goals for Foothill, the last coming on the 6-on-5 variety. And the Knights now right back in the mix here, tying things up at 2. 2:15 to play here, first half. Entry pass in, quick turn, Pipkin, she's stuffed in close. That was Valerie Ayala getting an arm on that one, and now here come the Knights, energized with the Foothill crowd cheering them on. Easy drive for both these teams, good crowd on hand. A soft shot there, gobbled up by Capana. And she will take over with 1:50 to play here until halftime.
It's tough I know they're trying to get the ball into 2 meters in transition, but they are giving Newport more possessions when they only use 10 seconds of the shot clock, so they're allowing Newport to have more possessions, which could, towards the end of the game, really help Newport out.
Well, it's interesting, as there's a quick turn and a save there by Snyder. Talking with Jim Brum of Foothill before the game, he mentioned he wouldn't mind a quick pace. Thought that Newport maybe slowed things down a little bit in their previous meetings, and if he can move it along, get a good shot, get set at 2 meters early, even if it didn't result in a shot at the 2 meters, but do a couple of little things to kind of control the tempo and the pace that might have benefited them, and we're seeing a little bit of that here in the second quarter. Outside try, and it's a 1-goal lead now for Foothill. They go ahead 3-2 on the goal from Ayala from distance.
Wow. And I mentioned, like I said, I do a podcast every now and then with Dan Albano, and the last time that they played, Ayala didn't play. Ayala wasn't even in, she was in street clothes. And, that was a huge goal for them right there. So that could be an X factor.
3 straight goals now. Newport has to feel a little shell-shocked here considering how the first quarter went. They're up 2-0. It's been all Foothill here.
Yeah, and this is where the slowing it down, the pace of the game may not work. You may have to get a couple of easy ones. They're working really, really hard to get a goal.
Here's Newport. Lob attempt. That was Reed, and that one bounced off the bar and away. And here comes Foothill with 40 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock now down to 24, about 11-second differential shot and game clock. There's a turnover. Working inside, and it was knocked away. Foothill looking to set up Sellers, but a takeaway. And now Capana has it. Shot clock, game clock about even as Capana surveys the pool to set things up for the Sailors. Could be a big turn here for Newport if they can figure out a way to score going into the half, and their chances just got better, drawing a power play and exclusion on Foothill that will go against Sellers, her first, and a 6-on-5 chance here for Newport Harbor.
This is a great opportunity for them to tie things up right here.
A bobble, 2 seconds left, one, lost the handle, still almost found a home, but bounces off the bar, and we come to the end of the first half, so a power play chance goes by the boards for Newport Harbor. Whiteleg loses the handle, can't put it on net with any kind of force, and we come into halftime 3-2, and really, we talk about the phrase a tale of 2 halves, but how about a tale of 2 quarters? Quarter 1, all Newport Harbor. Quarter 2, Foothill asserts themselves as the number 2 team in this division.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty obvious that this next quarter is going to be the key to the game. Newport needs to adjust things a little bit. They showed that they can play front court in the first. Foothill adjusted. They were able to stop it. Now it's time for Newport to turn on their counterattack. If they want to win, they have to score an easy one in this next quarter to really capture the momentum back.
So we're here at the half, and it's a 3-2 lead for Foothill. You're watching the CIF Southern Section Division I semifinals in girls water polo here on GoLivePolo.com, brought to you by Percolator. We will step aside and return with the start of the third. Stay with us here on GoLivePolo.com. Welcome back to Irvine. Third quarter underway here in this first of two CIF Southern Section Division I semifinals, and it's Foothill leading Newport Harbor 3-2, scoring 3 unanswered in the second quarter, and now the teams have switched ends. Foothill in the white caps, Newport Harbor in the dark, if you're just joining us, along with Steve Carrera, Greg Meskel here with you live from the William Wolt Aquatic Center. And here's Foothill with the first crack in the third quarter. Outside shot, and that's stopped by Capana. And now the Sailors take over.
And I'm not sure how many saves Capana has, but it's got to be double digits. And, I mean, she's obviously having a great game. Let's see if she can get some offense now.
Ordinary there as the Sailors get their first look on offense. Another ordinary there. Cross pass, shot clock to 3, lob attempt, and Snyder pulls that one down. On the attempt there from Kearns.
I haven't seen very many hard shots from Newport yet. I mean, they haven't really tested the goalie. I mean, they did the one bar down in the first quarter, but since then they haven't been able to get a really hard shot off.
Here's a look inside and an exclusion. And then a quick look and a knockdown. So the defense is there for the Sailors despite Ellie Reed getting excluded. Her teammates back her up and force the turnover, and she can come right back in, and the Sailors control.
Great defensive play by Pipkin right there on the post. I mean, heads up. That saved a sure goal.
He understood what Foothill was trying to do, going right back into the spot of the exclusion there to try and get a quick goal, but Sailors all over it.
And I'm not sure did we have a reset on that shot clock? I mean, that was a quick shot clock.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That seemed pretty fast. Coach is not arguing about it, so maybe they were okay with it as we move down the other end. Here comes Foothill now, leading 3-2. 5:03 to go. Coming in close again. Defense from behind. And how about Rachel Whiteley? You wouldn't think she has 2 exclusions. She's playing pretty physical out there, able to come from behind and knock that one down.
That was a very risky play, but, I mean, she had to stop the goal. I mean, it's better for her to stop that goal. And, I mean, I know they have some players on the bench that can play, so they're not completely out if she's done, although she's a great player, I mean, going to UCLA. So,
And going to play for Brandon Brooks, collegially in Westwood. Only defender listed on their roster, not that others can't do it. 4:35 to play here, third quarter, 5 on the shot clock for the Sailors.
Newport's offense is just very discombobulated right now. They're not balanced. You know, they really need to go down, and I've said this over the last quarter and a half. They just have to go down and have a good possession. They haven't been able to do that.
That last attempt there as the horn was about to sound for the shot clock sailed left. And Foothill now handles, and it's interesting, we're about 3 minutes deep here in this third, and the first 2 quarters were really defined by each team. You could point to Newport taking the first, Foothill taking the second. This third really still up for grabs here. Neither side has scored. Both teams have had chances. No one's really cashed in.
Yeah, I mean, I think this pace favors Newport later on in the game, but, you know, because of their strong defense in the end. But if they don't get goals on the board, someone has to step up.
Look inside. Quick turn over the goal. Sailors trying to counter quickly there. That was Chanel Schilling, who's been quiet thus far, looking to get on the board, and a little too much on that one.
Yeah. She has great one-on-one moves. I think over the course of the games I've seen, she has some trouble finishing at times, but she has great one-on-one moves.
The quick turn inside. That's tipped out on the attempt by Schneider. Capana, as she has been all evening, getting a hand on most of these shots.
Yeah.
3:39 to play, third quarter, 3-2 Foothill. Sellers, now Konishi. She'll give it a look, nothing there. Here's Schneider. A few fakes, plenty of time on the timer here. 16 to go, skip there, a little low to the left, out of play. And Capana takes over for the Sailors with 3:20 to play in the third. Sailors pushed out well beyond 5 meters. Now something available. A little too much on that pass. They had a beautiful look available. Levesque kind of leaking back towards the goal. Couldn't find it on the hand. And it got away from the Sailors. Now Foothill takes over.
And just too many turnovers for Newport. I mean, you know, in the first quarter and the second quarter, we talked about how Foothill was giving them some more possessions.
Trouble here. Lob is in. Score it going cross cage. Foothill and Kanishi. And it's a 4-2 lead. The Knights have scored 4 unanswered.